Yes. All right. How you guys doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. Glad you can make it. Glad that you are tuned in. All my people on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube, good to see you. Let's go now to Facebook and make sure people can hear me. Let me just slide over just a tad bit, a little bit here. Go this way a little bit. There we go. Tired going crazy. All right. Facebook in the house. All right, there we go. There we go. Facebook people, okay. How y'all doing? What's up, Carrie? How you doing, Marjorie? And Rebecca Lane. And Leanne and Kathleen. And Nicole. And who's that? Justin. Justin Terry. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? Hey, Rose. Hey, Henry. Evan and Jared. Aloha, Wolfpack. All right, John. What's up, John? Brian. Bruce, Joe, Vonda, Maurice Bryant, Karen Campos, and Yvonne. How you doing? Thank you, Rose. Rose said she was watching one video, then I went live. It's all good. I'm glad I'm here to go live with you. Cartwright, what's going on? So I'm thinking we're looking good. Thank you, Marjorie. I think we're sounding good. I think you would tell me by now. You'd be like, Tim, we can't hear you, bro. So we're good on Facebook. Now let's go check, make sure that we're getting some love on YouTube. What up, YouTube people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black, and you are back, people. Oh, man. Hey, Mayors. Do I have a backup? Yes, I do have a backup channel. Hey, Jilly. Hey, Detroit Red. Jilly said, if they kill your channel, do you have a backup channel? I do. Guess I don't promote it enough because you don't know that I have a backup channel. I had like 3 other channels. Which, when they killed me a month ago from streaming, I streamed on that. You didn't see the streams on that? God. And Mayors, you're a YouTube, you're a Wolfpack member, Mayors. That's bad. You don't know I got a backup channel. So you didn't watch me for a whole month? Jeez. Yeah, because they just had me on suspension for a video that I used that everybody else used, but they didn't want me to use it, I guess. So now we don't want that guy Tim Black using that video. So I'm the only one that got flagged for it. It was a Bill Maher clip. And we all know Bill Maher gets covered a lot, so it's all love. I'm just lucky, I guess. I'm always so lucky. What's going on, Eric and Jim? What's up, Jason? What's up, Laura? What's up, Jilly? What's up, 2-Bit? What's up, Spike? What's up, Bonnie? What's up, Schultz? What's up, Antonio? Of course they can cut us all. That's why we're building up TimBlackTV.com. We're getting our website together, baby. We've been working on it for a while. If you haven't been over to my website lately, go check it out. It's really coming along. It looks so much better. Shout out to Sean G, who wants no fame for doing what he's doing, but he's really making my website look so much better, man. Sean, I appreciate you, brother. I really do, man. All right, you two people. Cody, Trudy, the whole crew, guys, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget, guys, now I have a text group. It's called the Tim Black Wolfpack VIP Text Club, right? It's got a long name, but the reason is very simple. Community. It's all about the community aspect, man, what we're trying to build up here. We need to become a force that cannot be reckoned with. And we do that together because nothing big is done alone. So join the Tim Black community. Join the Wolfpack community. All you got to do is text 2100. I'm going to put that on the screen briefly. All you got to do is text cornbread to the code 2100 on your smartphone, and you'll be able to opt into our list. And we know people don't check their emails anymore, at least not like they used to, right? I know I have an email account that's full of so much spam and junk. It's ridiculous. I don't even go on it that often. So that's why I have more than one email. But I know the best way to stay in touch with people is through their smartphone. So text the word cornbread to 21,000, 21000. That's cornbread to 21,000, and I'll send you all the updates. I send you announcements and also private videos that are just for the VIPs and just for the Wolfpack, just to make sure we stay in contact. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Now, I'm telling you guys, I want to make an announcement so that everybody's on the same page on this. There's been some things that have been going on that have been so bad, so like horrendous. And I said originally I wasn't going to do this, but I changed my mind. I'm forced to cover Donald Trump a lot more now. I don't want to cover him all the time, every video, but I got to start covering this guy a lot more. Come on, guys, this is ridiculous what this guy's doing. One of the mistakes I think we're making, and I think I've been making, is I don't want to be like corporate media so bad that I'm omitting Trump from the conversation. And people are getting the impression that somehow he gets a pass. Okay? He should not get a pass for what he's doing. There are things that Trump is doing that need to be addressed. The impeachment proceedings. I watched a little bit of those today, and I'm going to start covering them because I think it's something that needs to be talked about. I have friends of mine on the offline world who I've known for years who don't follow politics. Hit me up and be like, yo, Tim, man, I watched some of that impeachment. This is crazy, man. They know they can't. They're not going to lock up Trump. You can't lock up a president. So I'm like, wow. It wasn't so much his opinion about it, plus or minus or for or against. It was the fact that he even cared. You got friends like that, and you know, like, they don't pay attention to politics for the most part, but then they say something, you're like, wow, this must really be resonating with people. People are really concerned. So that's when I thought maybe I was a little quick to jump out there and say I wasn't going to cover the impeachment, because I think I have to. I mean, I can't have my friends, actual people I grew up with all my life, watching MSNBC, watching CNN, watching Fox News. I have to cover it. What I look like? That's crazy. I can't send my friends across the street to the corporate. The corporate's bad for you over there. That stuff will kill you. I can't send my friends over there to eat that fast food. They got to come here, man. Our stuff is organic. So that's what's up. So I will be covering it, guys. All right. I think that's all the announcements. Let's get to some news, shall we? Now, I want to start tonight's newscast. And look, don't leave. Don't leave just because I do this. Because I know you're going to be like, oh, you do not want to hear this person's voice. It's going to turn you off big time. You're going to be like, why is Tim playing this? Don't do this to me. Please don't play this, Tim Black. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, I got to do it because I got to get to the part that I want to talk to you about. So I got to play this. We still friends, right? We still cool, right? Well, let me play it. Let me make your mind up after that, okay? All right. Don't go nowhere. Don't leave. Check it out.
Uncharacteristically candid regarding whispers about her personal. Uncharacteristically candid regarding whispers about her personal life.
Well, contrary to what you may hear, I actually like men.
Oh, right, yeah. That's the other thing.
The other thing.
You're a lesbian.
Women
friends. Raise your right hand.
Yeah.
You've never had a lesbian affair.
Never even been tempted. Thank
Unbelievable.
you very much.
There were no questions during the sit-down about former White House intern Monica Lewinsky and the inappropriate relationship she had with then-President Bill Clinton. Stern did get Clinton to open up about life and love before Bill Clinton.
Somebody before Bill that you would have considered marrying?
No. I would not have considered marrying.
But in love.
But in love.
Stern tried to press Clinton on the field of 2020 candidates. She pledged to support whoever the Democratic nominee might be, though she did have a few choice words for Bernie Sanders.
Do we hate Bernie Sanders?
No, I don't hate anybody.
Bernie could have endorsed you quicker.
He could have. He hurt me. There's no doubt about it. He hurt me. But going back to the indictments, because that's what's really important.
Have you ever spoken to Bernie about that?
No.
You don't talk to him?
I don't talk to him. I mean, we did when he finally endorsed me and all that.
But you're upset with him?
No, disappointed. Okay. So, and I hope he doesn't do it again to whoever gets the nomination.
Right.
Once is enough.
All right. Now, I know that was painful. Yeah, I know that was kind of painful for you to have to sit through. I know it's just uncomfortable to have to listen to that voice. Yeah. You were thinking, oh man, goody. I get to listen to Fingernails Down the Chalkboard on my Monday after I'm off work. Thanks, Tim. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate you, Tim Black. All right. I don't want to pull my subscription or nothing. Now, look, the reason why I played that is because Bernie Sanders actually responds to Hillary Clinton. Yeah, he actually had something to say. I think it was cornered by a paper because, Bernie's not trying to, he doesn't benefit by going back and forth with Hillary. It just riles up. Look, I think Bernie realizes in order to secure the nomination, he's going to need some Hillary voters. And he would rather not have to go back and forth with Hillary about the past, especially when he did all he could do to try to force her through the doors of acceptability with his voters. And he was successful in doing so, because more Bernie supporters voted for Hillary Clinton than Hillary supporters voted for Barack Obama back in 2008. But hey, we don't want to dredge up the past, do we? We don't want to have that conversation. Dr. Jason Johnson, Joy Reid, Zelina Maxwell, all these people I got to deal with online who got blue check marks, but they got them because of jobs they hold, not because of the community or the actual influence that they have in the community. Because somebody white hired them and said, "Ooh, put this black person up here. Put him up there. Yeah, put the darkie up there. He just gets a black up there. Put a black up there. He can talk. She can talk. Look at her. Go ahead and talk. This is great." Oh, say something we don't want. Get them out of here. See, they like to play games like they don't know that more Bernie supporters went and supported Hillary than Hillary supporters went and supported Barack Obama back in 2008. They don't ever bring that up, but that's fact. Look it up. It's not based on me. It's not my opinion. It is reality. But Bernie doesn't want to like go back down that road. In fact, this is what Bernie said. Bernie said, I'm sorry that Hillary Clinton is rerunning 2016. Is that how he said it? I'm sorry that Hillary is rerunning 2016. Let me just say it regular. That sounds so bad. Like, my impressions get better as the week goes on. It's only Monday. Bernie said, I'm sorry that Hillary Clinton is rerunning 2016. I could take out a letter from Hillary Clinton saying, thank you, Bernie, for working so hard to try to make me the president of the United States. Yeah. That's what she said. You know those people that tell you everything's good? You got friends, you ever had a friend like that would say, well, I should say a fake friend, because we all know. Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Friends, before we go any further, let's be friends. That's what Bernie should have said to Hillary. We said, Bernie, will you come out and campaign for me? Let's be friends. Bernie should have said, friends, how many of us have... Because Hillary Clinton was never Bernie's friend. And though Bernie worked his butt off, going to state after state after state, town hall after town hall after town hall, and city after city to try to campaign for the woman who kneecapped, who set him up, who got the media to go along with her candidacy, that had the superdelegates line up behind her, even in states that Bernie handedly won, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Minnesota. He still went out to campaign for her. And she said in a letter, thank you, Bernie, so much. Thank you, Bernie. You did great. Thank you for trying your best to make me president. But see, the thing is, at the time, they hadn't decided to throw him under the bus for it yet. She hadn't triangulated that portion of it yet. That took a little bit longer. Like when she didn't have a concession speech handy. Right around that time, what they say back around that time when they came up with the whole Russia thing, that's about the time they decided to make it all Bernie. Bernie, Susan Sarandon, Nina Turner, Jill Stein, anybody, black men, black women, Latinos, Putin, Facebook ads, comic books, white guys named Fred, licorice, the color orange. Like, they just blamed everything. So I appreciate Bernie speaking on it. I hope he doesn't go any further. Like I stated, I don't think Bernie wins anything. I don't think he'll gain anything out of this. I mean, yeah, his base will like it, but it won't play well with rest of America, rest of the Democrats. People are tired of Hillary. I think people hate Hillary or dislike Hillary now more than they did before, if that's even possible. How would you like to be burnt to death? I don't want to be burnt to death. No, thank you. Come back 4 years later. Hey, how about some fire? Nah, I don't think I want fire. Okay, how about eating? I don't want to discuss you. I don't want to creep you out. Somehow, as a black man, the reference to being burnt to death does not sit well. I mean, they used to burn witches, supposed witches, which are just regular people, burnt them alive. Boy, we got a sordid past, don't we? We just did crazy, barbaric things to one another, didn't we? Gee whiz, Tim Black. Keep the fun jokes coming. Don't talk about death. You know, every once in a while I have to lay that dress out on the desk. Put that dress out on the bed. You know that dress I'm talking about. That dress you put on when your commentator starts talking about burning people at the stake. When he should be talking about the news. Oh, darn it, gosh darn it. Buck up. Let's do it better. All right. Next story. A strange thing happened in Pensacola, Florida, at a naval base. Someone that we trained turned a gun on our servicemen and women, killing 3 of them. It's not only strange, it's horrific. It's not only horrific, it's barbaric. It's inhumane. It's tragic. And it's also easily explained away or easily remedied by money and an apology from Saudi Arabia. I mean, it is if you're Donald Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, there are some things that are so beyond the pale, so beyond decency, so beyond what should be acceptable, that others will try to make excuses for. I can't do it. What happened in Pensacola, Florida is so horrible. And it's not just what happened because, come on, at this point we're all somewhat numb to gun violence. I mean, we have to be. You know, I think that a large percentage of Americans suffer from PTSD at this point. We just don't know it. Yeah, there are different levels of it. Some people get PTSD just from hearing about an incident. Dr. Joy DeGruy, a fantastic scholar in this area, a professor in this area, she would tell you that some people get PTSD from hearing about a tragic event. Some people will get PTSD from, they would have to actually be involved, maybe see it on TV, and others would have to actually be in it. But there are different levels to PTSD. I'm telling you, folks, what happened in Pensacola, Florida is so horrific. And it's not just the actions of this shooter, this killer, this terrorist. And that's what he is. That's what he is. He's a terrorist. I don't want to hear it. It's the reaction to it. It's the reaction to his actions by our own president that are so bad they could give you PTSD just for that. Check this out.
I spoke with the King of Saudi Arabia. They are devastated.
In an ongoing global investigation, FBI agents in Pensacola, Florida are focusing on several Saudi nationals connected to the man who opened fire in a classroom of the Naval Air Station, killing 3 sailors.
This is something that should not have been allowed to happen.
The Saudi nationals who trained with the gunman are being restricted to base, a confinement that is causing tension between the 2 countries and spurred a Saudi defense attaché to arrive on base and assist, according to someone familiar with the investigation.
I can tell you that we are looking very hard at uncovering his motive.
The FBI is trying to determine if the Saudi gunman sympathized with a certain ideology and is analyzing digital evidence. A Twitter account that aligns with the identity of the killer retweeted profiles of prominent Islamist clerics with ties to al-Qaeda. That account posting a chilling message minutes before the attack declaring hate for Americans because of their crimes against Muslims. The social media footprint has spurred some lawmakers and White House National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien to draw a firm conclusion.
My point is, it looks like terrorism.
A declaration the president hasn't yet made. Instead, Trump continues to pass along sentiments from the Saudi leadership, most recently following a conversation with the Saudi Crown Prince Sunday. The president thanked the Crown Prince for Saudi Arabia's assistance with the investigation and continued partnership, according to the White House statement. The readout echoes multiple comments Trump made about the kingdom since the attack.
He's very, very devastated by what happened.
King Salman of Saudi Arabia just called to express his sincere condolences.
The repeated praise is again drawing questions about whether he's too sympathetic to the Saudis and is strikingly similar to the aftermath of the murder of American journalist Jamal Khashoggi, when Trump maintained support of Saudi Arabia, even as details tied Khashoggi's killers to the highest levels of the Saudi government. Even staunch Trump supporters were less sympathetic to the kingdom and more demanding of their cooperation than the president.
I made the point as clearly as I possibly could that we want no interference from the kingdom as it relates to Saudis that we have, and if there are Saudis that we do not have that may have been involved in any way.
Okay, make no mistake about it. The killer, the terrorist in this who performed this act, do we need to say his name? I don't think we need to. Let's just call him a terrorist. He posted on social media various comments that show definite anti-American bias, anti-American emotions. He blasted America for its dealings in Saudi Arabia and other countries and other Muslim faith practitioners, the way we treated Muslims across the world. According to the FBI, they haven't determined just yet the motive for the shooting, but these things are clear. He made posts where he berated America. There are people in his community in Pensacola, Florida, at restaurants that he frequented where he ate, that said he acted different ever since he had went back home to visit Saudi Arabia. Once he returned to the States, he was a different guy. He was very angry all of the time, kept to himself, was sullen. Like he had a total change of demeanor since he went to Saudi Arabia and came back. This man was among hundreds of foreign students training at the Naval Station in Pensacola. He had completed 2 years of schooling in the U.S. and was expected to graduate from the program in the summer. He was killed shortly after the shooting. So three naval men were killed by this man. And I want to see what Donald Trump's response is going to be now that it's coming out that this man did harbor resentment against America. This was not a one-off situation where he was just acting with no influence from anyone and from anyone or anything. This was not a personal, vindictive act towards these three men. This was political in nature. It was about the U.S. government and the Saudi government. It was about the way the U.S. treats Muslims, according to this actor, this man, this person who acted in a terroristic fashion. Donald Trump has not called this terrorism. Donald Trump hasn't called it much of anything other than a tragic event. Well, you don't need to hear from me. Here goes Donald Trump responding himself to this terrorist activity.
In an ongoing global investigation,
I spoke with the King of Saudi Arabia. They are devastated in Saudi Arabia. We're finding out what took place, whether it's one person or a number of people. And the King will be involved in taking care of families and loved ones. He feels very strongly. He's very, very devastated by what happened and what took place. Likewise, the Crown Prince. They are devastated by what took place in Pensacola, and I think they're going to help out the families very greatly. But right now, they send their condolences, and as you know, I've sent my condolences. It's a very shocking thing, and we'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of it very quickly.
This was a terrorist act, make no doubt about it. Donald Trump sort of, in my opinion, appears to be dismissive. He's dismissive about this. His solution to it? Well, the Saudi Arabians, the Saudis, they're gonna send money. They feel really bad that their Saudi citizen was here in America and killed some of our guys. I'm sure they won't be able to sleep well at all tonight, and they're going to give some money to the families. You know, y'all don't find that a little bit disgusting? You know, I got a feeling that the families would much rather just have their loved ones not dead. You know, where's the vitriol? Where's the anger? Where's the rant? You know, the Donald Trump rant of, we are Americans, we shouldn't take this, and we need to fight back, and we need to do something. Oh, that's right, it's Saudi. My bad. Don't mess with the Saudis, because the Saudis got that money. Same thing happened when they killed Jamal Khashoggi. Trump had the same type of attitude. What did Tulsi call him? What did Tulsi? She had a word for Trump when it comes to dealing with Saudis. Oh, that's right. Being their bitch. That's what it was. Yeah. That's what she said. She said Trump was their bitch. Yeah. You know, make no mistake about it. This is not up for conversation about if this was a terrorist act. The guy left a will. He left a will. Now, it was full of typos, but you can clearly see it was written to the American people. Here's a thought. If you leave a will to a country, it's kind of easy to ascertain that you got a problem with that country. Like, this is political. It's not because of the movies we watch. In fact, he went on to say, the writer says he does not dislike America per se. I don't hate you because of your freedoms. You know, because that's that Bush line, right? They hate us for our freedom. They hate us for our freedom. He said, but that he hates the U.S. policies that he views are anti-Muslim and evil. In his own words, he says, what I see from America is the supporting of Israel, which is invasion of Muslim countries. I see invasion of many countries by its troops. I see Guantanamo Bay. I see cruise missiles, cluster bombs, and UAV. So once again, guys, I want to see, and this is why I say the focus on Donald Trump has to be there, because this is your president. And I can't have people believing that this guy, this president is doing a good job. He's not doing a good job. He's just corrupt and greedy and inconsistent and devilish as any other president who's ever been those things. You know, when we go after the Democrats, we go after the Obamas, when we go after the Clintons, when we go after the power structure, the establishment, we cannot leave Donald Trump out of our criticism because, as outlined here, what was Donald Trump's response when, I don't know, when it's an American? When an American does such an act? Now, we know there's a different response when it's a white American as opposed to a black American or a Muslim American, It's very different. We know that, right? Like when it's a white guy, it's, oh, well, he's a lone wolf. Obviously heavily medicated. Obviously sickness from medication, from video games or from hip-hop music. He's been defiled in some way. Because if it weren't for that, there's no way he could do this. He's not capable of this. He's a human being. Then when it's a brown person, it's terrorist. Terrorist when it's a Muslim person. But when it's someone from Saudi Arabia, what is it then? A mistake that they will compensate us for. And it would lead one to believe all the other times when Trump was on his soapbox, and to a larger extent when the GOP were on their soapbox about terrorism, it can be considered fake outrage. Morality will lead one to be outraged regardless of the color of the perpetrator, the religion of the perpetrator. And the devastation of the victim would be the only true measuring stick for that. All right. Here it is. All right. That's it, guys. We'll look forward to what Trump's official response will be. I expect them to sweep this under the rug and keep it moving like they've been doing. No. Also, within 24 hours of the shooting in Pensacola, a cyber attack on Pensacola, shutting down all websites from the all official websites. Federal authorities are investigating a cyber attack on the city of Pensacola, Florida, home to the naval station where the Saudi flight student killed 3 sailors and wounded 3 others on Friday. And that's certain if this tied together, it could just be a coincidence. A coinky-dink. All right. Next story, right? Now, this is why I remind you that this show is brought to you by you. That's right. It's brought to you by viewers like you. There is no white knight out here floating around giving money to the Tim Black Show from the GOP or the DNC. No, Bernie Sanders doesn't pay me. I just happen to support his candidacy. And I have some editing skills. That's all. Like, Tim, that's a great video, man. Bernie, you must be on the Bernie payroll. No, I would tell you. And no, I'm not. So who supports this show? Tim Black's Wolfpack. So I want to thank all the Tim Black Wolfpack members who support the show, who give on Patreon or support us via YouTube. Please continue to do so. If you want to become a Tim Black Wolfpack member, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, or hit us up on YouTube or Facebook. Now we're live on Facebook too. And and don't forget, join the Tim Black Wolfpack VIP Club, Text Club, by texting cornbread to 21,000 and opt in. Don't opt out, opt in. And I send you updates to stuff, cool stuff, all right? Next story. Can we run a commercial? Yeah, let's run a brief commercial, guys. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious, they are revolutionary, and they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. All right, my bad, guys. My bad. Just had to get my notes ready for the next segment. Make sure we're good here. We're back. Mike's back. All right, guys. Thank you for coming back with me. Pete Buttigieg. 5. 1 second, guys. It's totally worth it. This is going to be totally worth it. I thought it was. Well, come on. My bad, guys. This is kind of important. The pages that I need are the pages that are missing. All right, so talks amongst yourselves. Because I can't make this up on the fly. I can't do this on the fly. Darn it. This is important and I don't. Damn it. Security! Damn. What did I do with that? I used it in another show. Damn it. All right, we'll just go on. We'll go on. Damn it. All right, so we'll get to it. We'll do this. Okay. All right, guys. So if you're like me, you're tired of hearing the name Pete Buttigieg. Yeah, you had enough of the Pete. And lately, there's been like a marathon of information coming out. I don't know what it is, a Nipsey Hussle type thing, a marathon of info about how great Pete is, or how Pete should be taken seriously, how well Pete is polling with all the white people in Iowa and New Hampshire. And I find it disturbing as hell because I really don't see what's so impressive about a small-town mayor. I just don't get it. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I like participation trophies in concept. I understand we want to encourage 8th place runner-ups with something. We want to make them feel good. Maybe they can come in 6th next time. But when it comes to politics, when it comes to leading this country, maybe we should rethink the whole idea. No, maybe we should have to reach a certain standard because, by gosh, no one's entitled to be president. No one's entitled to be a senator or anything else. We get what we get. And it should have something to do with what we do along the way. That's something to do with the amount of energy expended, the amount of work you put in, the amount of talent, but also how much work you put in. Not how many palms you greased, not how many butts you kissed, not how much of a payoff you took, how much of a good choir boy you were, falling in line. And that's what Pete Buttigieg has done consistently. That's why he is where he is. So as of late, what's happening is somehow, for some reason, in true corporate media fashion, they decided maybe we should pay a little bit more attention to Pete's background. Maybe he is not beyond critique. Well, one area of critique for Pete Buttigieg has been money. See, Pete's been raising a whole lot of money. Hell, he raised, $19 million in one quarter, maybe the second quarter, the third quarter. He took a little bit of a hit, but he definitely outraised his counterparts such as Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar. I mean, the guy's been raising so much money. One of the reasons why he's been raising so much money is because he's been very amendable in his policies. Once a staunch activist or supporter advocate of Medicare for All has turned into a anti-Medicare for All persona. In fact, he's running ads right now in Iowa dissing Medicare for All. Dissing it. So, which brings reporters who are worth something, they have some ethical... Oh, God, where are my ethics? So, there it goes. I got a little bit of my ethics left. And they're using it and they're asking Pete questions about his fundraising. Now, previously, Pete said that he would disclose his fundraising. He would let you know. He was open to books. He wants to be transparent because we We need more transparency in our government, and I feel that as Americans we should demand that of our leaders, and our leaders should demand it, and we should give it, because we are, all here to work together. And if we're not working together, then what are we doing? I don't know. And I see this rare quality in us to work together in order to be more transparent. So, in the spirit of being more transparent, I find myself in a position to be more transparent. And that's what we should do. People in the Midwest, in my part of town, have come to feel like it's important to be transparent, not just in the colors of clothing that we wear, but in our politics. And that would be a good way to go about not only defeating this Donald Trump, but bringing this country back from the brink of total destruction. So anyway, Pete said he's going to open up the books. Here goes the reporter asking Pete, when are you going to open up the books, yo? This is what Pete had to say.
Earlier today, you said you were open to having a conversation about opening your fundraisers, and that's a question that reporters have been asking for months now. So I'm wondering, when do you expect to actually have that conversation and give an answer on that?
Again, I don't have a timeline for you.
As the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
What's that?
As the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
Yes.
And why haven't you done so?
What's that?
Why haven't you done so yet?
There are a lot of considerations, and I'm thinking about it.
Last question. Can you give us an example of those considerations?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo. Hey, little coy, isn't he? Yeah, little coy. So, Pete, you said you were going to open up the books and let us know about your fundraising. You're going to be more transparent. Any news on when that's going to be? Any timeline on when you're going to actually open up your fundraising books to be more transparent? No. No. Okay. Are you going to do that? Is there a reason why you don't have a timeline on when you're going to open up those books? Yeah. I'm considering it. There's a reason. Okay. What would that reason be? I don't want to tell you. Kiss my ass. I don't have to tell you anything. I'm Pete. Okay. See ya. That's your president. That's the guy I got to hear Alyssa Milano talk about how great he is. That guy. The guy right there who won't let you know where his money comes from. That's the guy I got to hear everyone say, he's so sincere. Maybe you're just an easily fooled dumbass. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're just one of those people who can't tell the difference between rain and urine. Maybe you're the type of person that doesn't need to be judging persons or people or things or speech or answers or politicians or anything. The reason why Pete Buttigieg has now opened up his books are the same reasons that Donald Trump hasn't revealed his taxes. It's not because there's something good there. Because if it was, he'd open them, dumbass. Where do we get these people? I need to know, guys. I really need to know. What do they get? What are they promised? What are you actors promised by kissing this guy's butt? Is there well, if you support Pete Buttigieg, you'll get 2 acting roles in 2 potential blockbusters. If you support Kamala Harris, you'll get an acting role in a miniseries on a Netflix, maybe picked up by Netflix. If you support Amy Klobuchar, we got a sitcom here, available here. Joe Biden off-Broadway show. I mean, what is being... There's got to be something in it for you. You can't choose to be this stupid. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't believe that a president is everything. I think it's going to take, even with Bernie Sanders, even with President Bernie Sanders, and that's, I'm speaking it into existence, Nina. Even with President Bernie Sanders, Bernard Sanders, I believe it's going to take the force of the people leaning on the freaking congressmen and congresswomen in order to get things done and primarying those deadweight jerks and jackals and scumbags. But a president means something. And you can't... Look, Obama ran on being transparent and he wasn't. At least he had the good sense to be transparent before he ran. Pete, he's letting you know, hey, I don't have to answer to you, you dummies. I do what I want to do. There is so much more to discuss about Pete, and we'll be discussing a lot of that on Wednesday. Let me just make sure. Wednesday. Because Wednesday, I have a special guest coming on the show. Mr. Henry Davis Jr. That's right, Mr. Henry Davis Jr. will be my guest. He's a councilman-elect from the 2nd District of South Bend. Husband and father and son and brother. He has information. He has direct information and experience working with people to judge. And also, he understands the concerns of his fellow residents in South Bend, Indiana, where Mayor Pete governs. We'll be doing that during the day on Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there so you can get to know more about Pete than Melissa Milano and all of Alyssa Milano and all the rest of the corporate actors, these people who he talks so well, he just speaks so well. I gotta go with him. I wonder if anyone called Pete, he spoke so well spoken. I wonder if they said that to him yet. Mayor Bloomberg, what do you think about Pete Buttigieg? See, he wouldn't call Pete well spoken because he's supposed to be, right? You guys, see, I've seen some dummies in my comment section act like they don't understand. Listen, Mayor Bloomberg, Mayor Doomberg, Mr. Dingleberry Bloomenberger, Mr. Dinglebooger Beagerboger, Mr. Dinglebooger, Bloombooger, Booger Bloomer, Booger Blurg, Boogberg, Bingback, Kookadookle, Trollberg, Scrollberg, Scroogeberg, Hemorrhoiderg. He would never say that Mayor Pete was articulate or well-spoken because he knows Pete went to Ivy League schools and he's a Rhodes Scholar. He should not say to Corey that Corey's well-spoken because he also went to Ivy League schools and is a Rhodes Scholar because that's the least you can expect of Rhodes Scholars. Now, if you met Tim Black and you say, well, Tim Black, wow, man, you're well-spoken. I'd probably just slap you upside the head. But at least then it would be, well, not because what I do, you probably wouldn't say that either. It'd also be considered racist. Anyway, tune in on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for that. It is sometimes when people say things, you don't know if they're just trolling or if they're that stupid. Yeah, stupid. I don't know what's wrong with the word. What's wrong with calling someone articulate? What's wrong with that? What's like going up to, I don't know if I don't know, man. It's a very distinct. We have a history in this country that is different. It makes us not the same. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. I'm sorry you just woke up and landed in America in the year 2019 and we have this history that you never knew existed. It's called a book. It's called being as interested in race relations and the history of racial politics in America as you are The Mandalorian or Watchmen or Impossible Burgers. All right, next story. Also, one of the reasons why I feel like it's important for me to cover Donald Trump more effectively and have to double back is because of stuff like this. Donald Trump's cutting food stamps right on time for Christmas. Yeah, nothing like cutting food stamps for working hard people or people barely making it. Yeah, what else could you do, man? It's understandable. It's Christmas. They want to eat. Got to cut that, homie. Cut those food stamps, cuh.
administration announced today it is going forward with a plan to kick nearly 700,000 people off of food stamps. The administration formalizing a rule that makes it harder for states to waive federal standards around who can qualify for the food stamp program, which is now known as SNAP. On a call with reporters today, Agricultural Secretary Sonny Perdue said the change was designed to both save money and, quote, restore the dignity of work to food stamp recipients. What it boils down to is the government saying that in many areas, if you cannot find a job, then you just can't get food stamps. The USDA says the work requirement rule would save the government $5.5 billion over 5 years. That is a bit more than $1 billion a year. Just for context here, the Trump administration has authorized $16 billion this year alone to make welfare payments to agribusiness affected by Trump's trade war. The rule announced today represents just one phase of Trump's planned cuts for the nation's 36.4 million food stamp recipients. If and when 2 other initiatives take effect, the Urban Institute, which studies this sort of thing, estimates the measures would together cut 3.7 million beneficiaries from the SNAP program.
All right, so 2 new SNAP rules waiting to be finalized with tightened eligibility requirements, reducing the food stamp rolls even further, and cut monthly benefits from some individuals and their families. One of the changes would stop states from using categorical eligibility to qualify for SNAP recipients, which reduces paperwork and allows states to increase the amount of assets or revenue an individual or family can have up to 200% of the federal poverty level and still qualify for benefits. The other would tinker with how people's utility bills affect their food stamp allocations, with the net effect of lowering benefits for some recipients and raising them for others, though it will do more of the former than for the latter, according to the Urban Institute analysis. It's not clear whether these changes to benefits accomplish more than saving the government some money. But the tinkering carries potential great cost to the poorest Americans. Collectively, the changes could impact 3.7 million low-income people. Let me say that again. The changes could impact 3.7 million low-income people. The Urban Institute estimates that as many as 500,000 families with children could lose their SNAP eligibility. All right, so you hear all this talk about all the great things Donald Trump is doing. No one mentions that he's cutting food stamps. All the money that's spent on food stamps, all the money that's allocated for that purpose is nothing compared to how much we spend, I don't know, funding, maybe like, Israel. Oh no, bombs. It's nothing. America spends money on what it wants to spend money on. That's all I'm saying. How do you justify cutting food stamps before Christmas? You just do it if you're Donald Trump. You're going to have people running cover for you. You're going to have useful idiots defending him somehow, some way. It's like there's people that have malice in their hearts who defend this crap. They work for the Republicans. Then we got people who are useful idiots who defend it just because they hate the Democrats so much. We can't fall into the latter, guys. This is horrible stuff. We got to call it out. Donald Trump. It's not helping you if you're poor. We don't support neoliberals. We also don't support fascists, and we don't support bastards who give trillion-dollar tax breaks to the rich and the wealthy, the well-connected, the corporations, and then stick it to low-income people for no real reason but to do it. I mean, they really aren't saving a lot of money by cutting food stamps. What would save a lot of money is ending wars and bringing troops home. That would save a lot of money. That's also off the table because Our military industrial complexes, Y. Johnson. So we call it out. Now, do I have that? I don't know if I have it. I think I do. You know, Donald Trump, he went before, it was some organization, he was talking about Israel. It's IAC, I think it's the name of the organization. And Donald Trump is not a good talker. Oh, God. He went there, first it was like he was chilling and kissing a lot of butt, but then he just kept talking to the point where he offended all of the Jewish community. This guy just doesn't know when to stop. He's like Tim Black, but more malicious. And with more power, and just really doesn't care. I care more than he does, probably. I mean, sometimes I don't care as much. But no, this is Donald Trump, where he's talking about all the great support he gives to Israel and how he's their best friend, and then he goes off the rails. You can't make this stuff up.
We have an opening. Now, but think of this, right? So we're going to spend $2 billion. It wouldn't be built, Sheldon, for 10 years, 50, don't forget, at some point, whether it's 5 years from now, 9 years from now, 13 years from now, I'm doing this to drive the media crazy. Because a lot of them say, you know he's not leaving, don't you? One of these characters, these people are so stupid. One of them said, you know he's going to win, don't you? And you know, at the end of his second term, you know he's not leaving. He's not leaving. You know that. And I thought, he's a comedian. I thought he was kidding. He's for real. So now we have to start thinking about that, because it's not a bad idea. No, but these people are going crazy always. When they all scream 4 more years, I always say, make it 12 years and you'll drive them crazy. 12 more years. But if I don't get the building built, it's never going to get built, because you're going to have some guy like Obama or Crooked Hillary. By the way, could you imagine Crooked Hillary Clinton I'm telling you a story, what happened, right? We're going to spend billions to build this embassy, and we built it for less than $500,000 in a better location that we already own. We were there a long time ago, had it a long time. Could you imagine her saying, let's see if we can build it for $493,000 instead of $2 billion? Okay. Number one, it would have never been designated. It wouldn't have happened. So she wouldn't have to worry about building it, because it would have never happened. But I am honored to say that we went there, we cut the ribbon, the building is totally gorgeous. Maybe someday you'll build a new one. I wouldn't advise it. I'd say fix it up and do a job. But you've got a beautiful embassy. It's in Jerusalem, and you have something that you've always wanted. It was a great, great day.
What's he even talking about? No, seriously, I'm trying to understand, like, what is he... He had a teleprompter. That's Trump behind a teleprompter. What was he talking about? He was everywhere, Johnson, and nowhere at the same time. How can you be everywhere and nowhere at the same time? Oh, that's that 3D chess, that 2D, 4D, 5D chess, that multiple galactic moon travel, space travel, time travel, continuum, selfless, out-of-body moment experience that he's having. Philadelphia experiment, altered state. Donald Trump doesn't make sense. Donald Trump has problems. Donald Trump wants to be a comedian. He then continued on a rambling discourse on the U.S. embassy move to Jerusalem. Iran, the economy, and more. He declared you have people, Jewish people, and they're great people, and they don't love Israel enough. Trump is still suing American Jews as he uses all critics as whipping boys for insufficient loyalty to him and his policies. To love Israel is to love what Trump does for or to Israel in his mind. I don't know. He was just all over the place in this rambling, stumbling, falling downstairs in this Dick Van Dyke-ish bunny down the stairs, Eddie Murphy reenactment, skit, bit. I don't know what it was for. Why? Here goes the part that has some people wondering what the hell is wrong with Donald Trump. See if I can play that for you.
We have an opening. Now, but think of this, right? So we're going to spend $2 billion, and one of them is going to buy a lousy location. A lot of you are in the real estate business because I know you very well. You're brutal killers, not nice people at all, but you have to vote for them. You have no choice. You're not going to vote for Pocahontas, I can tell you that. You're not going to vote for the wealth tax. Yeah, let's take 100% of your wealth away. No, even if you don't like me. Some of you don't. Some of you I don't like at all, actually. And you're going to be my biggest supporters because you'll be out of business in about 15 minutes if they get it. So I don't have to spend a lot of time on that. Defending your president against oppression. Another atrocity.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go off the rails. You go off the rails and you say things. You're showboating. You're having a good time up there. You're feeling good. You're all lathered up. You know, you're in the moment. And then, diarrhea of the mouth. So he takes a swipe at Elizabeth Warren with the Pocahontas comment. But at the same time, you know what he does? He says that the Jewish community won't vote for a Democrat because, well, you know, the wealth tax. The wealth tax, you don't want to pay more. You got to pay no money. Last thing you'll do is pay money, Jewish people. Come on, man. You ain't going to pay any money. Wealth tax, what? They're going to tax you. I don't even need to spend time on you. We all know you guys are not going to go for that. Do you remember not too long ago, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar made a comment about an organization whose name will not be mentioned? He said that organization was all about the Benjamins, and they said, oh no, racist, anti-Semitic. What is different between her saying an organization that spends money, was all about money, and Trump saying, hey, you particular people. He's not talking about an organization. He's talking about people. You won't vote, because he's talking about votes. He said you won't vote for them because you don't want to pay that wealth tax. Who pays wealth taxes? People. See, that fake outrage of the whole time about Ilhan, we saw through that. Yeah, because you'll have a problem with Trump making a comment about individuals that he say doesn't want to pay wealth tax. Now, I'm not saying there aren't other people who feel the same way. They don't want to have to pay a wealth tax. But to go there knowing you had just went in about how, and actually in this speech, it's a long speech. I watched a lot of it. He didn't mention Ilhan Omar by name specifically. He just said members in Congress who don't like you, who disrespect you. Oh, members in Congress who are those disrespectful. They're just so disrespectful. They don't respect the Jewish people. They don't respect the religion. They don't respect you. They don't respect you. They make comments. Not good, bad, mean comments. The hypocrisy is there. It's jumping up and down, waving its hands and arms and frailing its feet, kicking out like falling over itself like George like Lambeer in the 88 Pistons. And people won't call it out for what it is. It is exactly what it is, guys. And they laughed too. There's a bunch of people laughing. But everyone's not laughing. Some people are saying that his rant was anti-Semitic, and they're calling for what? I don't know exactly. In a written statement, Aaron Kiyak, former head of the National Jewish Democratic Council, condemned Trump's remarks. Trump's insistence on using anti-Semitic tropes when addressing Jewish audiences is dangerous and should concern every member of the Jewish community, even Jewish Republicans. It won't, Johnson. Trump's embrace of anti-Semitic rhetoric must stop, period. It won't, Johnson. Hypocrite, hypocrite, hypocrite. Hooray! All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the show tonight. I'm going to go to the section and check people out. Oh, let me also remind you, tomorrow I will be on The Rising, The Heal the Rising with Crystal and Saga, and we're going to kick some butt. We're going to talk about some stuff, and that's going to be fun tomorrow. And then Wednesday, as I stated, we have a special show at 2 o'clock. We're going to talk about Pete Buttigieg. Also, go to my YouTube channel, watch my video with a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack, Laura from Alaska, sister. Great video. I put it together. Her great voice, my editing chops, and I think we have ourselves a viral hit. It could be, It may be, or it could not be, but it's a damn good watch. And a number of people who watched the video said they teared up. Some people even said they cried. And also, but more importantly, some people said they were inspired to get back engaged politically and to get active. And that, my friends, is everything. Yes, it is. All right, guys. Oh, expect more of those videos to come where I take Freedom Friday callers, add some love and time and attention, and put together videos with your sentiments. Just another one of the perks of being part of the Tim Black Wolfpack and participating in Freedom Friday, because you could be picked. We're a community. We stick together. All right, guys. Let's go see if we got any comments we need to tend to. We got a couple new people that joined up. Jilly Love. Jilly, I thought you were already a part of the... Girl, lady, you've been with me forever. Like 2-3 years. But thank you, Jilly, for joining. Detroit Red, thank you for joining as well. Amen. I hope I answered your question. I have another channel. If you look for Tim Black, you'll find another channel. Yeah, you'll find it. Just search Tim Black. Subscribe over there, too. We always have a backup plan. 99 Nation videos. If you want cornbread, you got to bake it yourself. Rev Marie says, what Rev said? Rev said, it seems his handlers have impressed upon him who's backing campaign, and there are rules for him. Yeah. You talking about Pete, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, there are rules for him. And there's rules for us too, right? And our rule as a Wolfpack is to hold him accountable. No matter who it is, we call it as straight as we can. Thank you. Hey, what's up, Roblox Gamer? Roblox Gamer, what's up? My son plays Roblox. My youngest son plays Roblox. Big fan of Roblox, man. And in fact, we pay him in Roblox. His allowance is Roblox. Hey, that's his currency. He's trying to send us to the poorhouse with Roblox, y'all. What is it with the Roblox? I come from a different age. I'm old now. We didn't have an equivalent. I don't know. Football? When I grew up, it was like football, baseball, basketball, lacrosse. Well, we had lacrosse at one point. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you had that little football game, the little stick figures, then we had the football with the electric board, and the punt the ball. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Remember the football, and then when the cords start working, you had to tap it, tap, 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 because you had the little man with the little bases, and you could put like a rubber on the base or whatever, and then you tap it, and they used to move like this. Football player be like this. It was something else. Schultz 100. Just paying my respects. Happy holidays, Schultz. Thank you, Schultz. And David Melford. Thank you, David, for contributing to the show. Nothing but love for you guys. I will see you soon. Stay safe. More news to come. I think I'm gonna do a video on today's events regarding the impeachment proceedings that I think will go forward. Yeah. I'll talk to you soon. Wolfpack. By popular demand, Johnson is here. I have new Johnson designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. Wolfpack. Shout out to James and Minx. Shout out to Burnt Out One. Whole crew. Hey, K-Shine. Join the Wolfpack on Patreon for the replays of all shows in their entirety, folks. Hey, Aaliyah.